We're going to get into some Lions news here, and we're going to talk about Sam Monson and PFF giving mad love to the Detroit Lions, and he's actually not been a guy who thinks the Lions done that well for many years. So him saying what he did is pretty big weight. So let's get this thing started. Getting closer and closer to that 10,000 subscriber mark. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that sub button as we continue to grow this bad boy. We're going to go over some Lions news, and then we're going to talk about the Sam Monson, what he said here. So the Detroit Lions, as you don't know, may not know this, but find out right now that there's a show that was on Netflix. It was quarterback, and now they're doing a wide receiver for their documentary on Netflix, and there's a couple wide receivers that's followed. Guess who's one of them? Amon-Ra St. Brown, so we get to see some Lions content here soon from Netflix. I don't know exactly. It says 2024 in the summer, so sometime in the summer it's going to come out, and I believe it's an 8-episode series following said wide receivers. They have St. Brown is one of them, and I think that's awesome. I think it's going to be great. Get to actually watch St. Brown, what he did. So here in a couple months, the documentary is going to come out. We get to watch some St. Brown, see what, behind the scenes a little bit of last season. It's going to be really, really cool. I cannot wait to watch it, especially with, we all enjoyed Hard Knocks when the Lions are in Hard Knocks. It's not obviously going to be Hard Knocks, but we get to see some more Lions stuff before the next season. So it's going to be in the summer. It's great. It's great right before training camp, probably, and that makes the Lions good to go. Romeo Okwara announces his retirement from the NFL. Julian Okwara is Philadelphia. Romeo Okwara retires. The Okwara era in Detroit is over. I wish nothing but the best for Romeo for retiring here, and hopefully, he's good to go for the rest of his life with his body, dealing with injury issues and stuff like that. Especially he's retiring pretty young, 28 years old. So I'm going to assume he's a little bit beat up, because I'm sure he can play some more years in the NFL. Wouldn't be necessarily a starter, but he could probably play more years in the NFL, but maybe just a little bit beat up, and retiring a little bit early is a good thing. It's a good thing for these guys. So have a great life, man. I wish you nothing but the best. No hate here from Romeo Okwara. So congratulations, my man. Let's see how much the Detroit Lions improve in free agency. Now, I'm not even going to read this article. We're just going to talk about the Sam Monson thing, because I was watching. We're going to get to it right now, so I don't think. I was watching the YouTube channel of Matt Derry, Locked On Lions. Make sure you check out Locked On Lions Matt Derry on YouTube, because that's where I'm getting this from. But he was talking to Sam Monson from PFF. Now, I listen to Sam Monson quite a bit, a PFF as well, especially when it comes to draft. And Sam Monson is the balder guy on PFF, kind of like me. And he necessarily has not said a lot of good things about the Detroit Lions in recent memory, even last year. He was very timid on jumping on the bandwagon of the Lions being a good football team. He was late to the party, but he slowly was starting to build more trust for the Detroit Lions. And it came out yesterday on the show that he said the Detroit Lions have the best roster in the National Football League. Not in the NFC, whole NFL. That's what Sam Monson believes, and continue to get better if the Lions strike gold in the draft, making a Super Bowl run. I thought that was very intriguing, because these guys are analytical and they're not homers. Sam Monson's not a Lions homer or anything like that. I wouldn't consider him a hater. He was just more of a doubter, because the Lions have been bad so much. So for him to come out and say that the Detroit Lions have the best roster in the NFL is significant. He loved the Kevin Zeitler signing. Extremely underrated player. Said he's one of the best passed blockers in the National Football League, and he's all right in run blocking. He loved that move, the DJ Reader move. Getting better on the defensive line for the Detroit Lions, improving the run game, stopping the run. And he talked about Lions filling all the holes. They don't have holes. And I agree. They got corner, edge, guard, DT. Now, I'm not saying that they're done, because I don't think they're done, especially at edge. But they hit the holes that they know they had to hit. And now you still got some free agency to go to pick up some players. But most importantly, you have the NFL draft. And the Lions can significantly improve their roster in the draft like we did last year. So going to the NFL per Sam Monson with the best roster in the NFL, and you can strike gold in the draft. Interesting, because I kind of agree with him. I think this is a really good roster. And we're not just talking about starters, we're talking about the backups as well. Remember, roster is 53 players, plus obviously the practice squad. I don't really call it the practice squad, but they are players that the Lions can utilize. You just go through this. They have the best offensive line in football. I think that's true, 100%. The best offensive line in football. The Lions may have the best, they have the best running back room in the NFL. You got the best duo, and you go Craig Reynolds, Zonovan Knight. Hell of a running back room. I wouldn't say their wide receivers are the best wide receiver room in the NFL, but they complement each other extremely well. St. Brown's a top 5 wide receiver. Jameson Williams is coming back up. I think he's improving, and I think he can be a real playmaker this year. Underrated Khalif Raymond, making noise. Donovan, they have a very, very good depth chart at wide receiver from top to bottom. Not necessarily the biggest names, but great depth from top to bottom. We're just waiting on potentially to see if Josh Reynolds comes back. Tight end room, great. Sam Laporta, Pro Bowler, All-Pro. Then you got Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, and James Mitchell. Pretty good tight end room. Their offense is lit. The defense, you got Aiden Hutchinson, Lee McNeil, DJ Reader. That's really good right there. Really good, and they can continue to improve. Linebacker room, Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, who's improved significantly. Derek Barnes, improved pretty good. The corners, they revamped it. Safety's been good. This is a dang good roster. Now, every team in the National Football League has a weakness on their team, okay? It's not, we got to understand that every team has a weakness. No team is perfect. Kansas City Chiefs, they struggled last year offensively. We beat them, and they won the Super Bowl. I did believe that last year that the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers probably had the best rosters between the two, but I think the Lions, they're going to take it. I think they take a jump over the 49ers. I do. With the best roster. They're going to be losing some players. And wait till Brock Purdy gets his deal. Then they're going to be in a world of hurt where you have a quarterback that takes a lot of your cap, like most teams. So, Lions are doing great. Did we get everybody we want in free agency? No. I'm sure you guys wanted a player and didn't get it. I wanted players I didn't get. But man, oh man, they did a good job with this. And that's what free agency is supposed to be. It's supplemental. You're not supposed to get your cornerstones. That's in the draft. So we supplemented. Now we're going to go to this draft and get the cornerstones, I'm sure, at the positions that we already filled too. And they may go in other route. Maybe they go offensive line. They can go a billion different ways. They have nothing holding them back at all. They go to this draft free-handed and get whatever they want to get. BPA. You're not forced to take a player or a position. So freaking great. Because this roster is good. This is now year 4. And I think year 1, I think we had the best or the worst roster in football. Year 4, it's looking like we have the best roster. In that amount of time, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, Spielman, has changed this roster from poor to amazing in such little time. And they stuck to their plan, and it worked. They did not deviate from the plan that they started when they all got together. They stuck with it, and it was the correct plan to do. A complete and utter rebuild to the studs. You had to do it. To get out all the mold, you had to go all the way to the studs, and they did that. And now this roster is great. You see teams that kind of do a retool, it doesn't work out. We did retools, it just didn't work out. We had to go to the studs. We had to go to the foundation and rebuild this team in the image of what Holmes and Campbell would like. So I agree with Sam Monson that this very well could be the best roster in football. And it's so good to see. We still got to keep going. We still got to go into the NFL draft and do our work there. We got 7 draft picks. I think we all fully expect that we're going to be trading up and down throughout this draft and getting said talent for this team. Brad Holmes, use your wand, work your magic, get your pan, and get cooking. Because we love what you have done with this team, and we continue to build towards winning a Super Bowl. The ultimate goal, winning a Super Bowl. Got to build that roster up to do it. And that's what they have done. Folks, we're dropping videos every single day. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. With that said,